I'm interested since you have both a value add and development background and experience. I'm curious if you can just chat with us about the nuances between the both. It seems that in my experience, it's most common to have an investor focus on one or the other versus attacking both aspects. What are some of the challenges and opportunity that you see with both value add existing and also the development deals?
Well, I mean, the main delta is really between the two strategies. Quite simply, it's risk and return profile. In development, the risk is obviously higher, but the total returns that we're targeting are also higher, and you need to be rewarded for that incremental additional risk. So, two options of the risk spectrum would be we buy a deal, for example, we just bought a deal in Tucson in April, not just, but we bought a deal in Tucson in April. And the deal was about 93% physically occupied. We had a lot of historic revenue streams, but the rents were below market. The operating expenses were fairly bloated. Their advertising wasn't very efficient. So, from a risk perspective on a deal like that, we know what our historic revenue streams were with the other ownership group. And in theory, we're a better operator than they are. So, they're going to either be the same or they're going to get better, hopefully better. And they have so far. But you're buying existing historic cash flow. And that inherently is less risky. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum is development. So you've never had a storage facility at this location. You can underwrite rents and occupancies in competing facilities in the submarket and kind of trend those out over time. But your main risk in development, beyond the obvious, which is hard cost assumptions, right? We're in an inflationary environment, material, labor, it's all much more expensive than it was a couple of years ago. But your main risk in development, I believe, is forecasting those future revenue streams. And as we all know, revenue and NOI are so sensitive on your total value creation. If we're wrong in our forecasting by 10 cents per square foot per month on a stabilized revenue stream on a development deal, it's a material impact to the total project returns. So, I mean, to kind of distill a little bit further from an IRR and multiple perspective, on acquisitions, we're targeting a 14 to 16% IRR and a low two multiple over the life of the fund. Development, we're targeting an 18 to 20% IRR and a similar multiple, maybe a 2.25 multiple, but that's over a 5-year hold versus a 7-year hold. So the return profiles are different between each strategies, as I mentioned earlier, simply because of the subjective and objective risk of building something new versus buying something existing.